As a NXOpen learner and a C Sharp learner, you already know what is array. Array is nothing but collection of same type of objects. And when we use array is again when we use collection, at that time we use these arrays. But do you know what is array list? What is difference between array and array list? If not, then continue watching this video. Let me show you the example of array. In this case, in this example, what I have done is I have collected all the features. And how I collected it using workpart.features, which returns the feature collection instance. And to collect add this feature collection instance to array, I have created the feature array and named it as features, and then I used this feature collection instance to array so that I can store the array to this identifier, to this features variable. And I do have the further code where I have checked if that feature is suppressed using a for each loop. This is how we initiate the features, not features, sorry, the array, and this is how we collect the objects into that array collection. Now let's see the array list. Before I modify this code and use the array list instead of array, let's see what exactly mean by array list. Of course, array list is much powerful feature than array in a C sharp language. It is a non-generic type of collection which is defined in system.collections namespace. It means that we can use array without the collection, but we have to use the systems.collection in order to use the array list. And this array list is used to create the dynamic array, means the size of array is increase or decrease automatically according to the requirement of our program. In this case, what I have done, the size is not predefined because I do have the value to assign it. I do have a value to assign it, and that's why the size is not defined. But before I use this features array, or when I initialize this array, I definitely need to define the size. That is a limitation with array, and that is not a limitation with array list. So it is a dynamic array. When it is an array list, it is a dynamic array. That is a very plus about the array list as compared to arrays. Array list represents an ordered collection of objects that can be indexed individually. In array list, we can also store elements of a same type and of a different types. This is the another difference. We can even store the same types or different types, but whereas in case of arrays, they need to be of a same type. Let's say I also wanted to include the bodies in my collection, then it makes sense to use the array list instead of arrays, because arrays not at all allow us to do that. We cannot combine different types together. Now let's see how we can initiate or how we can create the array list out of the features in this example. For array list, I will need systems.collection. So I will copy this, put it like this. So I do have system.collection. Now in order to declare the array list, how I can do this is array list, then its list name is equals to new array list. So here I am allotting a memory to this array list, but I am not defining the size of array list. This is how I can initiate the array list. And then adding the object to the array list is quite easy. Let's see, I want to add the feature to this array list which are found from workpart.features. So what I can do is simply inside this for each list name dot add into bracket obj dot name. I can even add name, or I can even add object, I can even add tag. So you could see that I can add several object types into this array, and it is not just limited to just one type of collection. So this is the beauty of array list, and adding the object into the array list is also easy. I can add the tag, I can also go and add the the name itself like this, and it will allow to add even tag name and other details, because it is open ended, which does not restricted which is not restricted to the one type as a array list. Now let's see how we can find out the count of elements of array list. It is also simple. What we can do is list list name dot count, and this count is nothing but going to give us the count of the elements actually contained in a array list. I do not have any integer declared, so it is count is equals to like this. If I do it like this, then I will get the count of elements, the number of elements actually contained in a array list. Now if I would like to see the capacity of this array list, I can use capacity. It gets or sets the number of elements that array list can contain. So if at all I would like to define the size of this array list, then I can use the capacity member, because I can then set the number of elements that array list can contain. And to do this, I can do it like this: array list dot capacity is equals to, let's say, 5. This is how I can set the capacity for the array list. Now if I move on and tell you how to remove the item from array list, it is also a simple. List name dot remove, and into bracket we have to give the occurrence, so that it removes the occurrence of the specific object from array list. I can mention 0. It will go and remove the first occurrence in that array list. So removing the list is removing the one of the object from the array list is also very easy. Instead of removing the object from its occurrence, I can also go and write the for each loop and check for the specific object name or specific object type, and then I can remove that object from the list. So I can also remove based on the name or the tag of that object. Clearing the array list is also easy. We can go and write like this: array list list name dot clear. So it removes all the elements from the list. It is going to remove all of them. We are like clearing that array. We are empty, making it empty. So clearing that array is also quite easy. Let us now try this example. So before that, let me modify it a bit. I will remove all these lines. Instead, I will use array list count, let's say. And what I will do is list name dot count. Count dot count. Let me try it like this. It's not working. Uh, we can add a line like this to check the count of the objects in a array list. One thing that I forgot to mention, we can even sort the array using list name dot sort. This can sort the array list alphabetically. So it sorts the elements in entire list alphabetically. So this is the sorting it can happen. And yeah, so this is how we can use the array list. Now let's try this example. Now let's execute this example in a journal. I will play this journal, and it says that array list count is 14. It means we managed to add the the objects into array list successfully. Because of that we got the count of the objects added into the array list. So this is how array list works, and which is a much better alternative to array because it gives us a lot of freedom. So I hope that you understood why array list is much better as compared to the array, and where you can use it. Here I am introducing a course called C Sharp Essentials for NXOpen Customization and Programming. Enroll now and unlock the power of customization in NX. Don't miss out.